Welcome back, as we are now in week 2 of this Oscar reviews on the documentary, foreign language, and animated films from this past Oscars. This week's films is dedicated to the films nominated for Best Foreign Language Film. As I look at a transgender woman struggles the loss of her boyfriend, a court case between a Lebanese Christian and a Palestinian refugee, a divorced couple searching for their son, two workers fall in a relationship because they have the same dreams, and a life story about a museum manager. The films I am talking about are from Chile, A Fantastic Woman, from Lebanon, The Insult, from Russia, Loveless, from Hungary, On Body and Soul, and from Sweden, The Square. And once again, starting with the film that was the least likely to win, and starting up is Lebanon's The Insult. In terms of the country's history in the Oscars, this film is their 14th submission to the Best Foreign Language Film category, and this is their first nomination here. Directed by Ziad Douali, this is about two different people from different cultures. One is a Lebanese Christian named Tony Hanna, and the other is a Palestinian refugee named Yasser Abdallah Salama. These two people ended up going into court after Yasser punches Tony from his ribs, since he didn't want to apologize to him after he assaulted him by calling him a prick. All because Tony destroyed a gutter Yasser built on his property. So Tony ended up suing him, but is also an affection for both of the civilians, since Tony has a huge grudge against the Palestinians, all because of the Damor massacre, the town where he was born, and the situation where Yasser is ever since the events of Black September in his home country. And this also affects the rest of the civilians in both cultures into massive fights in the country. I think all of us agree we didn't know what this movie was, and after seeing it, I am so amazed on how it turned out, not just as a crime movie, but also a racial film. Kind of like in our country where we have to deal with the racial effects on blacks and whites, this is about immigration between the Lebanese and the Palestinians who are in the country. As for the crime, unlike Abagus smelling up to jail, you get the full court experience in this film. One thing I was very surprised about this whole case is the two lawyers, the man representing Tony's side and the woman representing Yasser's side. They're actually a father and a daughter. You'd think that would be a spoiler, but it's seen earlier in the film. I'd rather wish they had that as a good side plot, but I was surprised it wasn't used a lot. Back in the court case, you really feel you're actually watching this in real life. This is all credit to the writing by Ziad and Joel Toma. And don't forget the acting here. From the lawyers, the main judges, the crowd, even though they're not important, but it really brings how arguments could happen in court, and especially the main two. Adel Karam as Tony, and Kamel El-Basha as Yasser. Both of these characters have a huge hate to each other, all because of this insult. But I won't talk about much on the scenes they're in together, especially one. As for issues for this film, the only thing I have is regarding Tony's wife, Shirin. She doesn't really have a big part in the case. Okay, yes, the baby has to do something with the assault, but it wasn't a big comparing to the backstory of Tony. I really did enjoy this movie. Right now, it's only our first foreign film right now, so I can't say it's the best one yet, depending on the other four. Anyways, my recommendation is for those who are interested in a film from Lebanon, and also for those who are into court films, especially seeing it from a different country. We're already on a great start this week. Next, we go from Lebanon to the European country of Hungary.